Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So it's review time for the SG Pro. So I picked this up from Long McQuaid not that long ago, and it's $5.39 Canadian, which pretty good price, you know. And it's a lefty. Does have the set neck or glued neck, whatever you want to call these. Mahogany body, mahogany neck, rosewood fingerboard, Wilkinson tuners. You've got your three-way switch here with your treble, rhythm, and your middle position. 2 volume, 2 tone. These are the vintage pickups. I actually kept the tags. They are called Alnico or Alnico Classic PRO vintage humbucking pickups by Epiphone. So if you're looking for that vintage tone or AC/DC type of tone, this will help you achieve that quite a bit. You'll never get Angus's actual tone. It's not possible to actually duplicate any artist's tone precisely, but hey, you can come close, right? I like the SG. The style is kind of really cool, and the double cutaway is nice. I like it too because it is the guitar that Angus Young uses in AC/DC, which is actually, if I was to pick a favorite group, that would be it, at least for that particular genre of music. And so anyways, I've been kind of skittish for quite a while on Epiphone guitars. My last Epiphone was a Les Paul Standard, and yeah, it was total garbage, and that was a waste of over $600. And so I didn't like them after that. And then I started investigating more and more about, you know, Les Pauls on the Gibson side of the house too, not just Epiphones. But what I did find out that was quite good about Epiphone is they have less of a back rake than the Gibsons. So that's better, which means better tuning stability too. Among other things that are going to be better about it. Better intonation setup as well. I don't know, just an all-around better guitar for way less money, but that's the way she goes. And so anyways, I thought, well, you know, I'll give it a go and see if I have bad luck with an SG. And I'm happy to say that this thing really rocks. It does come with 10 gauge D'Addario, I believe it is, strings with it. And the 10 gauge work really well with it. I'm not really a 10 gauge fan by any means. I generally run 9s on all my electrics because I like to bend strings, and my guitars stay in tune really well. I set them all up myself anyway. Anyway, so this is buying the first guitar with a set of 10s on it, and happy to say that these 10s actually will bend really well. I was quite surprised. The tuning stability, definitely surprised. No dead or buzzing frets anywhere, which is like total bonus. And I really like the choice of medium jumbo size frets that they've used on this guitar too. So we've got some, you know, hopefully long life lasting frets. You know, light touch, lasts longer before you need to do a redress or a refret. Yeah, the intonation perfectly set right out of the box. The only thing I had to adjust was actually my high end of my bridge height. I had to bring the height up a little bit because it was just a little bit too low, and it's deathly low as it is. And you know, I mean, it is like severe, but no buzz. And that's kind of the way I like my guitars to be set up, as low as possible without buzz. Same as my acoustics. And so yeah, I like that, and it makes it easier for string bending too with a very low action. Yeah, they even cut the nut really well. Very impressed with that. This does have the coil-tapping pickups too, so push-pull system. So let me give you a little bit of a preview of that. So we'll just do a, you know, D. This is as a humbucker, the bridge. And I'll just pull it up. So in the middle position you get 2 humbuckers. So now if you just want one as a humbucker, so we'll have the bridge as a single and neck as a humbucker. difference. Now for the neck pickup as a single and as a humbucker. Oh, sorry, let's stay on the neck. Sorry about that. So there's the neck only. As is a humbucker. Now as a single coil. So you can get a lot of different tones this way. It's like having a multitude of pickups in one, because you've got 3 main choices as a humbucker, and then of course you've got 3 as a hum and a single times 2, depending which way you do it. There's like 9 combinations just there. Plus you can also run just straight single coil setup as well, so there's 10. Let's not forget about that too. Come on. There we go. So you basically have a total of 12 different combinations right there, and we haven't even touched the tone dials yet or adjusted the volume dials. So you can get a massive variety of tones having these dual coil tapping pickups, which is really cool. Anyway, so let's go for a little bit of distortion, shall we? So she can distort really nice and clean too. That was my Widowmaker heavy metal pedal, I call it. But anyways, yeah, so overall I really like the guitar. I think it's a great guitar, very stable, tunes well, stays in tune well even with some string bending. A lot of string bending actually. Reverb in there is nice. But anyways, the only beef I have about this thing is the knobs themselves. My top one seems to like to come off really easily, which kind of really pisses me off. But we have a cure for that that's on its way. My wife was so kind as to order me some really cool knobs with Allen set screws in them. And so they're going to be going on here once they show up, and we picked out black ones, and so that'll definitely solve the push-pull problem with my knob coming off. And besides, you always got to have something to make things look a little nicer. I was going to go after chrome knobs, but there's already lots of chrome on this thing, and these knobs are actually black with just chrome tops, and I couldn't find any all-metal knobs like that. But I did find, black or gold, and I figured, well, I just put gold on the telly, I got black on my Strat, but of course different knobs, they're the same, older style. So I thought, well, let's put some modern day knurled knobs on this that are black. So, and I got a great deal on a set of 4 of them, so yeah, what the heck. And they're metal, and they got set screws, so that'll work. That's a little bit of a dress up for the SG. Well, that'd be about the only beef I really have about this thing. My wireless kits, right now I'm using my little Joyo kit, and it kind of looks stupid and ugly because it sticks up so high, but I've also got my U2 X5 kit, which lays down nice and flush, so that's a better kit to actually use. But we don't have whammy bars here either, which, don't need one, And I like this for playing AC/DC stuff. It's just great, But if you want to do hard rock, heavy metal, blues, it'll cover it. Now, since I'm having such a great old time with this little puppy, I went into Long McQuaid, Friday, I guess. Yeah, was payday, so Friday, every payday I'm in there every Friday. They had a Les Paul on the wall, and I was thinking, should I? And I'm like, okay, it's like 600 and some bucks, same as the last one I bought. All black, ebony black. I'm like, ooh, I gotta try this thing out. So I plugged her into the Marshall tube amp, which may end up coming home with me yet. I'm starting to get a little happy about tube amps. You know, yeah, and I know, Jack, you're watching this, buddy. Don't even start with me, okay? I know. But I've always said I hated tube amps, and I've told him the same thing for a long time now. Hey, I don't like tubes, and you know. But when you start playing on a Marshall tube amp, it's like a whole new world, you know. And it's like, this is nice. Anyway, so that amp may come home with me eventually. I don't know. We'll see. I do want to get a really nice amp. Something with a big speaker and a lot of wattage. I've been looking at stacks, but really, guys, to put a stack in here, it would be like absolutely ridiculous. I just don't have the room for it, and I'm not doing, you know, gigs all over town or all over the country type of thing, so I really don't need one. But, you know, a Marshall combo amp would be nice, or even a Marshall mini stack or something like that. I actually like the mini stacks too. But I like this tube amp I've been playing on, and it would be something that would only get fired up every once in a while, because tubes are freaking expensive when you got to replace them. Because you don't just replace one, you replace them all, you know. And so I don't know, maybe we'll see. If Marshall's got, you know, a really nice solid state amp I like, then I'll get that instead, because I do prefer solid state. But I want an amp with none of this modeling effect stuff. I've got one already, and you know, the modeling amps are fine if you're a beginner or if you just don't have any access to pedals. They have some other, you know, uses for them, but I do prefer just a pure amp, because then I've got nothing else stealing juice and sound quality from me either, which is another problem with all these modeling amps. Is you lose a lot of power, you lose a lot of cleanliness of sound, so you clip your amp sooner, etc., etc. But back to the Les Paul. So I grabbed that thing off the shelf, and I decided to take it for a spin. And I really, really like it. Not one hiccup with it anywhere. You know, I was like, that's like the SG. This thing is like perfectly set up, and it tunes well. I did some bends on it, and really hammered the hell out of it a little bit, you know. And I was thinking, wow, that may have to come home with me, you know. We'll see. You know, if it ends up being on my channel, you'll know I got it. I'm starting to like the Epiphones again. I mean, let's face it, it was a few years back when I had that Les Paul, and so, you know, things change, right? And you do get your bad ones, that's for sure. But I'm definitely really impressed with this one. Even though I'm not a real fan of these style of tuners, they tune the guitar really well, and it stays in tune really well, and that's the huge thing, right? I do like the knob style, that I really like, but I do like these tuners. Either way, they're good tuners, so they can stay on the guitar. No need to swap them. There's a whole little rule called, if it ain't broke, don't fix. This thing. It's a great guitar, guys. But yeah, so my only qualm was, you know, this knob thing that comes off every once in a while. That bothers me. But like I said, I'm getting new knobs that lock on, and it'll be fine. And I don't use the coil-tapping feature very often. It's like a rare thing. Mainly because it's also something very new to me too on the guitar. And you know, it's kind of like, you know, am I going to use it? Yeah, I might. You never know. It does have a better effect when you're playing clean. And I do have a clean boost pedal as well, so we'll kick that on for a minute. say? 4.5 out of 5. You know, I gotta nitpick a little bit. You know, nothing's perfect. That's probably just a defective knob, but I'm still picking on it anyways because it kind of does annoy me a bit. Why didn't I go back to the store and complain? What's the point? It's a freaking knob. Okay, if it was something major, fine. Something minor like that, rip it off, throw it in the garbage, put on some good knobs anyways, right? You know? And the guys know me over there well enough by now too that, you know, for me to go and claim a warranty on a knob would be ridiculous. It's like my switch when it went dead in my Strat. Who cares? It's a switch. 22 bucks, threw a better switch in it, you know? But yeah, great guitar. If you're looking for an SG, take a look at the Epiphone SG Pro. This is the 400 series, and I think it's definitely a win-win, to be honest. And for $539 Canadian, I don't know what that'd be in US dollars, but you know, it's nice. The finish is beautiful. I am not a red fan by any means. Oh, I hate red. But in the case of this guitar, I like it. And because it's also one of the colored SGs that I've seen Angus Young play. So yeah, I don't consider like an idol. I'm a bit of a fan of him. The guy is awesome. You know, he's like just rocks that guitar so well, you know. I like it. Even the 4-layer pick guard, awesome, you know. There's different versions and that of the SG as well. But today this is the one we're talking about that I have, and it's the only one I'm going to have. I don't need, you know, 20 different versions of the SG. One's good enough for me. And the harmonics are great. If you want to tune by harmonic, the harmonics are great. The intonation is so well set up on this. It's crazy. And if you want a 5th fret tune it, no problem. It does it all. So it's really, really good. Very, very impressed with this machine. If you're looking for one, take a look at this one. If you're in Canada especially, Long & McQuaid has like 74, 75 stores. You know, check them out online. Go to your local Long & McQuaid. Our local one is in North Bay. They actually took over the old Music City store, and I've been dealing with Music City themselves for well over 30 years. Well, now I got another 30 or so to go, 40 years, however long I live. I'll be dealing with the Long McQuaid over there for all my music needs. You know, the prices are awesome, service is awesome. You know, if you're looking for something to, you know, you don't want to commit right away, you can rent guitars, you can rent other instruments as well, you can rent all kinds of stuff. You know, so they have a really nice rental program too, or financing, you know, and you can do that as well. Or hey, pay you up front, you know, whatever you want to do. So the link for Long McQuaid, the main website, will be in the description of this video. And hey, check them out. They tons of products, tons of choices, especially for us left-handed players. Loads of choices, okay? Alright guys, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.